One of the icons of evolution is the Human Evolution Chart. We have been told that the evolutionary steps from ape to man are clear. The study of the ape to man evolutionary process is a so-called scientific discipline that has been used to show the evolutionary process of humans. But it has been susceptible to many errors. These include frauds, horrendous science, including lies and junk science, unfounded speculation, and large amounts of imagination. We will look at some of the most important of these ape-man fossils. These are the ones that have had the most influence in the so-called Human Evolution Chart. One of the most notable of all the ape-man examples has been the Nebraska man. During the first part of the 20th century, evolution had not been widely accepted in many of the educational systems in our nation. The Scopes trial, or the monkey trial as it has been often referred to, was the event that would put evolution on the map. During the trial, it was more like a public spectacle, the evolutionists introduced an ape man named the Nebraska man. The creationists argued that they had no opportunity to examine or do research on the specimen. This ape man had been drawn by looking at just one tooth of the so-called Nebraska man. The creationists objected to this surprise additional evidence to the trial. The evolutionists charged that their opponents simply could not accept the new scientific evidence that contradicted the creation model, and so the creationists went away defeated in the public's view and in the world's view. After the damage had been done, and evolution was generally accepted by much of the public, the tooth from this Nebraska man was discovered to be nothing more than an extinct pig's tooth. Java man was another one of the ape man fossils that had been used for decades as a link to convince millions of people of man's ape ancestry. Eugene Du Bois discovered some fossils when he traveled to Java, which is now part of Indonesia, in 1891. His discovery was of a skull cap that appeared to have features of both man and ape. A year later, he discovered a thigh bone 50 feet away. He took the license to combine the two and say that they were from the same creature. Du Bois had very little training in geology and was not able to recognize his faulty reasoning and approach. A later expedition revealed that this site was actually quite modern in age. Now, this Java man was used as an example of human evolution for years. Evolutionists eventually ignored this extensive study. Many experts today, as well as in his day, say that Java man is not a missing link, and the bones probably came from two different creatures, both probably human. This Java man was the first of many erectus, that is, standing upright fossils. These fossils are crucial to the ape-to-man process because all they needed to fill the spaces between Australopithecine, that is, non-human, and Homo sapiens, which are clearly human. It is evident now that Homo erectus and true humans have existed together. There is no scientific evidence that the two are related in any way to each other. Neanderthals have received some of the greatest attention over the last few decades. They were shown as a creature that was bent over and part ape and part human. The Neanderthals had an arthritic and or rickets type of condition that caused them to be bent over. This fact was ignored and the public was told that they were linked to modern humans. They just hadn't learned to walk upright yet. As previously mentioned, Neanderthals had larger cranial capacity, which according to scientists implies a higher level of intelligence. This would indicate that we have devolved from Neanderthals if they were truly our ancestors, instead of us evolving from them. A Piltdown Man was discovered in pieces from 1908 to 1915. It was accepted as a genuine missing link. It was not until 1953, approximately 4 decades later, that it was discovered that the bones had been planted at the site and had been treated to match the color of the other bones. Some of the fossil pieces were altered so that ape-like characteristics were combined with humans. It took almost 40 years to discover this fraud. But it was used successfully during these years to help convince the public that human evolution from apes was true. Now, if we remove all of the bogus ape men that were just mentioned, then there would have been virtually no good examples of human evolution through the mid-1900s. The so-called ape to human chart would have been virtually non-existent. Not one ape or monkey has been verified as being a true link to humans whatsoever. It is without a question a real shame that a theory as popular as evolution has had to use so much fraud, mistakes, and just plain bad science to stay on the map in the area of anthropology. Nothing has ever been found that scientifically links humans to apes in any way. It has all been speculation built on an idea, that is, evolution. Joseph Weiner said it this way: "It is quite obvious that modern man could not have arisen from any ape, let alone a monkey, at all similar to today. It is ridiculous to describe man as a naked or any other kind of ape." For more information, go to evosecrets.com.